Hey guys, Amber here. Just gonna go over how to make meatballs. Turkey meatballs, they're great to have by themselves. They're great to have over spaghetti squash, over pasta. You can meal prep these. That's what I'm gonna be doing for the week for lunches. You can have them for just for dinner. They freeze really well. You can do anything with them. All right, this particular recipe is actually going to be from Autumn Calabrese's Fixate cookbook. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be using Jenny O's Extra Lean Turkey. It's an all-natural turkey. It's a little bit different than what I usually use. I usually just use like whatever store carries the, the all-natural antibiotic-free turkey, but same difference, okay? So this is what I'm using today. So I'm using 2 pounds of this. All right. So I have 2 packages, 2 full packages of this. Alright, so I have that in my bowl, and I'm just going to mix them up. So I already had one in there. So I just chop all that up. And I already had cooking about 1/2 of a medium onion cooking on the stove top with 2 tablespoons of olive oil along with 3 cloves of minced garlic. So that was cooking on the stove. Alright, so I cooked that over medium heat until the onion was translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in our turkey. Alright, and then don't worry, I'll post the recipe. I'll post a link to the recipe, so you'll be all set with the recipe. So you don't have to be taking notes or anything, alright? Very, very, very simple recipe. Okay, so I have that in there. Just give it a little mix around. Okay, we have 1/3 cup whole wheat breadcrumbs. I'm using whole wheat panko breadcrumbs. You can use any whole wheat breadcrumbs you want. I just prefer panko because they're airy, less calories, no seasonings, no, extra sodium or anything like that. So throw those in there. I have, a 1/4 cup almond milk. So throw that in there. Some unsweetened almond milk. I use, Califia Farms, I believe. I have 2 eggs. I use cage-free eggs. No preference, really. That's just what I like to use. And then I just use regular old Parmesan cheese. All right, so you need about 2 tablespoons of that. So I don't measure. I just throw it in there. About 2 tablespoons. And then you need salt and pepper to taste. So I like some pepper. I do. I like pepper and I like salt, but you don't want to use a lot of salt. This is like I said, super, super simple. Super simple. My computer's dying on us here. Let me quickly finish. All right. Now it calls for parsley and it calls for oregano. I like all the other Italian flavors that an Italian seasoning gives us. So I'm going to use McCormick Gourmet All Natural Italian Seasoning. Anything that you like. If you want to just go ahead and use parsley, like a fresh parsley, you could. And then oregano to give you that seasoning, you could. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle in a bunch of this because you know what? It doesn't have sodium. There's no extra sodium added to it. It's just Italian seasoning. So I went ahead and I covered up the top of my meatballs with that. Not my meatballs, my meatball mixture. They're not quite balls yet. So mix it up really, really well. And now it recommends that you refrigerate before you roll the mixture into balls of meat. However, I've never actually done that. You don't have to. You could if you'd like. It might save you up some time. And then you go ahead and you should have already preheated your oven. I apologize. So your oven should be preheated to 425. I already have spaghetti squash in there cooking at 400. So I'm just going to leave it at 400. If they have to go longer, they will. So you have your mixture. Looks like that. I went ahead and I have a pan lined with parchment paper. And I sprayed it with an organic olive oil spray. just pan, nothing fancy. Give your hands a little bit of a wash. Nice and soap and water, right? Because you're going to be touching the meat. And all you're going to do is just get a spoon. Give yourself a spoonful. Nothing too big because you want them to cook. And you're going to get about 42 of them. Approximately. It depends on how big you really make them, you know. So I don't like them too big. I like them kind of small. And you're just going to make about 42 balls or so, about this big. And just plop them on your sheet. Just keep going until it's all gone. That's it. You're going to bake it for, what is it, about 13 to 18 minutes. They're usually down around the 15 to 16 mark for me. Like I said, it kind of depends on how your oven's set. Mine's set a little bit lower this time, so they might need about the 18 minutes. All right, check back for more. I will post my blog down below so that you guys can get the full recipes and all the extra details, okay? Also look for the spaghetti squash video because these go really, really great with that, and that's actually what I'm going to be having them with, all right? Okay, enjoy.